Hello and welcome to Benidorm's Old Town. In this video I'm going to take you through a few of the famous and not quite so famous locations that Benidorm was filmed in. There's quite a number here in the Old Town and a lot in the New Town as well. So if you'd like to join me, do feel free to pop along. And don't forget to check out my website www.benidormfansite.com. Our first location really needs no introduction at all. This is the Caribbean bar and swimming pool area of the Sol Pelicanos Hotel. It's located in central Benidorm on Calle Girona, and all of the pool and pool bar scenes were filmed here across all 10 series. If we look out across the pool area, we see this building here, the Aquarium 2. It was in this building that most of the hotel bedroom scenes were filmed. Just around the corner from the pool area at the Pelicanos Hotel is this part here. This is the In and Out bar, and in Series 1 there was a fake frontage here which was the entrance to Neptune's bar. Moving inside the Sol Pelicanos Hotel now, on the Pelicanos side, is this area here. This is the lift lobby and the hotel room corridors, and a few short scenes were filmed here with Johnny Vegas and Elsie Kelly during the first series. On the other side of the complex is the Sol Ulcas Hotel, and this is the reception that was used as the Salana reception in some Greek scenes during Series 1. Particularly featuring Madge in a mobility scooter. Outside of the hotel we find ourselves on Calle Girona, and this is the entrance to the Ulcas pool, which was commonly used as the entrance of Salana itself, the external scenes. And the hotel, as you can see surrounding it, is there in all of its glory. And this is in central Benidorm, Avenida Mediterraneo, and just by that pillar is the zebra crossing which featured in the opening titles of all episodes. Across the road from the Sol Pelicanos Ulcas is another location that needs no introduction. This is Morgan Tavern, which starred as Neptune's in Series 2 onwards. If you're in Benidorm, get yourself along to see some fantastic acts and have a really good night. Immediately behind the Sol Pelicanos Ulcas is Avenida de Zaragoza, and an absolute plethora of scenes were filmed down this street. So let's have a little walk down. And here we have GB Bar in Benidorm. This was the Mad Monk, where Janice first met Jack and Monty first met Sammy. Above the bar is the Aquarium 2 apartments, which, as we discussed earlier in the video, this is where many of the internal bedroom scenes were shot. Spinning around on the street, we have an estate agent, which was used at the beginning of Series 2 as Wacky Race's mobility shop, where Mel hired Madge her mobility scooter. And just nearby is Amigos Kebab, which is closed. Ironic really, because it was also closed when it was the Benidorm Museum of Culture, when Kenneth and Gavin paid it a visit. Towards the end of the road we have this small area here, where Clive parked his car and offered to give Janice a lift at the airport to try to rescue Vic. And finally, at the end of the road, we have the Costa Les supermarket, a Benidorm staple. In the show, this was where Madge would buy her cigarettes and was once almost kidnapped for illegal organ theft, but was saved by Mohammed. Another Benidorm staple is the indoor market, where Mick and Michael chased Mohammed to try to find out exactly who he was. A short scene was also filmed inside. Here we find a small bazaar at the bottom of the Rincon. It looks like a normal shop now, and it is, but in Benidorm it was the original Mr. Wu's restaurant. Close by, on Avenida Mediterraneo, is Eline's nail salon. This was used in Benidorm as the Benidorm beauty parlour, where Matteo got his beauty treatment stroke torture. And here we are at the top of the Rincon area, and the building across the road there is the Hotel Mediterraneo, or the other Salana, the nudist colony that Sue Pollard arrived at and had to sing West End musical numbers in order to afford her taxi fare. And directly across the road from the Hotel Mediterraneo is the world famous Benidorm Palace, the Costa Blanca's premier cabaret show bar, owned briefly by Mel Harvey Industries. This was used for the filming in Series 3 and also for the Christmas special. Filming of Series 3 and the Christmas special also took place inside Benidorm Palace. If you're in Benidorm or around the Costa Blanca, I really recommend it because they always put on a fabulous show. Another really famous location now. Here we are at the Benidorm Cross at the top of the Sierra Helada mountain. This is actually the second cross over Benidorm. The first one blew down in a storm during the 1970s. Scenes filmed here were the scattering of Donald's ashes, and prior to that, the assumed scattering of Big Donna's ashes, when it was in fact Leslie's wig. Just down from the cross is this road here, which is the main road that goes up to it. This is Calle Tewan overlooking Benidorm, and this is where Madge and her daughter Janice were taken hostage, only to be not saved by Jack. Two locations here. In the middle of the picture on the coast, we can see Calle Ziotima, which Kenneth took Gavin to, not telling him it was a nudist beach. And off in the sea there, you can see Benidorm Island, otherwise known as Peacock Island, which in Series 3, Mel tried to buy, and in Series 10, Joyce got married to Monty. But the wedding scenes weren't actually filmed on the island, they were filmed a little way down the coast in the town of Villa Ayosa. Coming down from the cross, we come to this area here, known as Vincent's Triangle, and there's a small selection of family-friendly bars. The bar we're interested in is this doorway here, which is the entrance to the cellar bar. And it was here that Martin accidentally took his wife Kate to see Sticky Vicky, much to her embarrassment. Here we have Calle Alcalde Manuel Catalan Charm, and this was where the Garbies and Donald and Jacqueline can be seen looking for the beach at the end of Series 1. Now a short way along from here is Bar El Palacete, a lovely little restaurant, but in Benidorm it was most famous as Mel's Mobility Shop, the Batley Arms, and most recently Mel's Bar. Here we have the Sol Bar on Avenida Madrid, where Jacqueline and Blaine shared a morning coffee. Now this is Jumping Jack's Bar on Calle Girona. Now this featured twice in Benidorm. Firstly, where Kenneth was singing karaoke whilst he was trying to avoid the Hafia, and later on where Leslie took Matteo to have some fancy cocktail shaking lessons in the hope of beating Jason at the Salana cocktail making competition. Casino Mediterraneo on Avenida Mediterraneo was used for Martin's ill-fated date with Bianca. And here we are at Bingo Plaza, or Plaza Hispanidad, where Noreen and Jacqueline went looking for a game. And here we have the entrance to Mundamar Animal Park, which is a great day out if you're in Benidorm. Martin and Kate came here when they ventured out from the Salana, but their day didn't go altogether as expected. Another park, Aqua Natura, was used for the Garveys and the Maltese day out, in particular Pauline's rather embarrassing swimwear accident. Next door is Terra Natura Animal Park, and this is the town square, which doubled up as Morocco, where Sir Henry caught up with Donald and Jacqueline following their attempted life insurance scam. Back in the resort now, this is Joker's nightclub on Avenida Filipinas. Now this was used several times in the series, notably where Sam fell from the bar and broke a leg, and also as Herbert's Happier Club and underground lair. And here we have another really famous location. This is the balcony of the Mediterranean in Plaza de la Castel in the Old Town, where Jeff met Leslie for the first time and got the shock of his life. Further along Plaza de la Castel is this wonderful dining area, where the Garveys sat down and got to know Mahomet. Just behind this area is the Castel d'Or Flats, and this is where the Garveys, whilst looking for Madge, inadvertently bumped into Donald and Jacqueline playing doctors and nurses. This is Walking Street in the Old Town, where Jeff was killing time whilst waiting for his big date with Leslie. Two locations in one here. First is this hill, Carrie Metge Cosme Bayon, where Kenneth and Leon sought out the dentist. And to the right is the El Curie restaurant. This is where Gavin and Noreen accidentally got into Donald and Jacqueline's lift when they were sat at the restaurant next door. Now this stunning building is the Catholic Church of St James and St Anna at the top of the Old Town. Now this area and surrounding areas were used where the Garveys and Kenneth were hunting for Madge, believing that she'd been kidnapped. Here we have Carrero del Gats, again in the Old Town, and this doubled up as the Pink Trombone in Series 5. A little further down was the Bingo Speakeasy and the side door where the owner let all of the Salana guests in. This, however, has now been demolished. Staying in the Old Town on Calle del Pal, we have Benidorm's famous Pig and Whistle Bar, a local institution which doubled in the show as the Manhole Gay Club. Scenes were filmed both inside and outside, but sadly it was closed on my visit. And here we have Tapas Alley in the Old Town, where Jeff got quite drunk and fell asleep on the table. And here we have La Rana Restaurant on Costera del Barco in the Old Town, where Leslie and Matteo tried to have a double date, but it went disastrously wrong for the latter. And here we have the International Hotel on Paseo de la Carretera in the Old Town, where we first saw Leslie arising from the internet chat room. Again, sadly, this was not open when I visited. And here is English Square in the centre of the resort, where a lot of the major bars are, including the Broadway, where Eddie and Pauline were on the Booking Bronco, and all of the Stag Night bars from that wonderful episode written by Steve Pemberton. This is the Ibrox Bar on Calle Lepanto, which was the village bar at the time, where Gavin and his mother got to catch up with each other. And of course, no visit to Benidorm is complete without a visit to the simply fabulous Matteo's Bar
on Avenida de Zaragoza. Owned by series writer and creator Derren Litten, the bar is packed with original props and artefacts from all 10 series. Exclusive merchandise and cocktails are on offer, as well as the odd familiar face. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry there's not more locations in there, but as you can see from this temperature gauge here on a pharmacy, the weather was a little bit too hot for wandering around taking more photographs. But I hope to be back in Benidorm in the not too distant future, and I'll either create a new video or add to this one. If you'd like to know a little bit more about these locations or to see more locations, please head over to my website, benidormfansite.com. So, there's nothing more to say, but gracias for your indulgence and hasta luego.